Imagine we're having tea time virtually here together, just you and me, no hype, no faking, just being real with each other. You might be hearing this while you are cleaning or driving or laying down or working, or maybe you're just taking 5 minutes to breathe and be a person again. Wherever you are, I'm really glad that you are here. If you watched my last video about wounds, you already know this line. Your wound will always choose safety over expansion. It's not wrong, it kept you safe, and it's not qualified to lead your life anymore. And this is the sentence I want to anchor today's whole video on. A 2x life lets you keep your coping mechanism and the 10x life does not. When I say coping mechanisms, I'm not trying to shame you. I mean the patterns that keep you safe, the patterns that help you regulate, the patterns that show up most when you are tired, overwhelmed, or at the edge of something new. And here is the lukewarm situation analogy. Lukewarm is like being in a relationship when nobody's actually breaking up, but nobody's choosing each other either. You keep texting, you keep showing up, you keep circling the same conversations, but there is no real commitment. It's not painful enough to leave, but it's not honest enough to build. And you can spend months, even years, living in that almost. Your nervous system does the same thing with your next level. It will stay in the situations that are tolerable, familiar, and just safe enough, even if they slowly drain you. So if your life has felt a bit like that lately, don't judge it. Don't judge it. Just notice. Because a 10x life does not always start with a huge action. Sometimes it starts with one clean choice. Either I'm in or I'm out. I'm going to tell the truth about what I'm doing here, and I want to give you a few tiny micro stories from Wellington because context makes this land, right? The story makes it relatable. Like the other morning, I was walking along the waterfront and the wind was doing what Wellington wind does, loud, sharp, almost funny. And I noticed my body doing this familiar thing where it braces like, okay, hurry up, push through, get it done. And I caught myself thinking, feeling somatically. And I literally paused, dropped my shoulders, and did one longer exhale and taking in the views. Not to be calm, not to force myself to slow down, just to stop negotiating safety through tension. And I remember thinking, this is the moment. Not the big life changing decision, but in the small, tiny decision to stay with my body. And then there are days where I'm on Cuba Street, grabbing something warm, and I can feel my system trying to rush even the good things. Like, I want to finish this matcha fast. I want to drink this tea fast. Or I want to finish this cookie, donuts fast. Answer the message. Think about the next thing, scripting, working. And underneath that, there is this quieter truth about you are allowed to receive this moment. You are allowed to be here, to be present, to soaking in all the beauty. That receive setting is not actually a mindset thing. Sometimes it's not poetic at all. Sometimes it's me checking my health tracker and noticing my mood feels flat, my habit has been falling apart, and then realizing I've skipped the basics. I didn't move my body. The water in my body is stagnant. I didn't go outside, enjoying the nature, aligning my frequency with the nature. I did not meditate. I did not do breathwork. I did not read. How can I feel calm? How can I feel grounded? And it's humbling because the body is not mysterious. It's honest. It's a machine. It's a machine learning, and it tells you what it needs, right? This is also why the social project group challenge has been so powerful for me lately. So for the context, it's 56-day challenge inspired by 75 Hard, and it's honestly jolted a memory in my system of what I did and kept practicing for the first 2 years of my journey. Daily movement, indoor and outdoor, meditation once or twice, breathwork daily, reading daily, doing the asana, reflecting. And when I'm consistent with that, my whole life changes in quiet ways, in louder ways. Everything changed. My mood stabilizes, my productivity becomes cleaner, not from pushing through. My mental health feels steadier. Even my spirituality feels more digestible, more connected. receiving more signs, downloads, like my awareness gets higher and I can actually sit with ancient texts without my system short circuiting. So if you needed proof that small practices create big shifts, this is it. Not as a flex that I can do it, but as a reminder, even for myself in the future, when I fall off my practice, you don't rise into 10x life through one grand moment, and instead you rise through tiny, repeated choices that teach your nervous system it is safe to be here, reclaiming that receive mode. It is safe to receive, it is safe to be seen. So if you keep hitting the same ceiling, I don't automatically think you need more discipline. I usually think that your nervous system is saying, okay, love, we can grow, but only up to what still feels familiar. 2x life is a better version of what you already have. More money, more clients, more jobs, more visibility, same identity. A 10x life is a different identity, and that's why it can feel scary. Not because you can't do it, because your body's like, wait, hold on. Who am I going to be if I cannot hide anymore? Okay, let me make this real for you. Right at the edge of the thing you want, your system starts doing its thing, right? You are about to post, launch, raise your prices, have the conversation, be seen before you feel ready. And then suddenly your body wants something else, something small, something familiar, something that makes you feel safe. And your mind will call it procrastination, laziness, self sabotage. But when you slow down and actually listen, it's often bracing, jaw tight, chest tight, belly buzzing, headache creeping in. It's your system saying unfamiliar equals unsafe. And this is where wound based decisions get really, really sneaky. They don't feel dramatic. They're creeping in. They feel responsible. They sound like, let me be practical. I just need more time. I'm not ready yet. I'm not feeling it. Sometimes those sentences are true, but sometimes it's your wound choosing from safety. Now, I want to add something that I think a lot of high capacity women don't actually talk about, even like it's a taboo. You know, when you hit a goal and you thought you would feel something and you feel nothing, or you feel flat, or you feel like, okay, what now? What's next? I remember having moments like that in 2025. It was not that I was not grateful, it was that my nervous system did not have the receive setting, it only had a keep going setting, right? So even when the goal happened, my body did not soften. It scanned for the next thing after the next thing after achievements. If that's you, I want you to hear this really clearly. That does not mean that you are ungrateful. That's a protective pattern, and it's one of the clearest signs you are at the edge of 10x life, not a 2x upgrade, if that makes sense. Because a 10x life does not just ask you to do a little bit more, it asks you to tolerate the quiet that comes after the win, the moment when there is nothing to chase, the moment you would usually distract yourself, the moment where your body has to learn it is safe to receive. Okay, let's go a layer deeper right now. My hiding place for years was competence. If I was enough, helpful enough, knowledgeable enough, I was safe. I did not need to be seen. I needed to be useful, to be loved, to be earning this place. And to be clear, competence itself is not the problem. Excellence is not the problem. The problem is when excellence becomes armor, when it becomes the way you avoid visibility, vulnerability, receiving, and the messy middle, because competence gives you that control, right? If you can control the outcome by controlling the output, you don't have to sit in the discomfort of not knowing. You don't have to risk being misunderstood. And if you're listening and you feel like a little thing, oh, that's me, same. This is not shame. This is only honesty coming from my own experience. Now, here's the twist, all right? A lot of things we call bad habits are actually regulation. Your nervous system trying to downshift, your gut brain axis trying to reduce threat and return you to familiar. I had one of those nights where my body wanted comfort on autopilot. I was with my daughter. We were binge watching Guilty as Charged. And then my brain was like, noodles now. Old me would have turned that into a story. I'm back in the old cycle. What's wrong with me? Like it means I'm failing. Those practices just go off to the ocean. But the somatic truth was simpler. My system wanted warmth, connection, a downshift, a relief. And this is why I keep saying the practice is not stop coping. The practice is meet yourself first, because if you don't meet yourself first, you cope, then you shame yourself, then you cope again to get relief from the shame, and now you are in the loop. Comfort is not the enemy, pleasure is not the enemy, rest is not the enemy. Remember that. The question is, are you choosing it consciously or are you disappearing into it? And I know this sounds simple, but it's not simplistic. This is how you rebuild your self trust, because every time you meet yourself, instead of overriding yourself, your system learns, I can come to her. All right. Okay. I want to give you something practical, not as perfect routine, just as a tiny doorway back to your body. Land, name, touch, and ask. Land your feet on the floor. One inhale, then exhale longer than you inhale. Not to force calm, just to arrive. Repeat it for a few more rounds. Name, where is it in your body? Chest, throat, belly, jaw. What's the sensation? Tight, heavy, buzzy, hot. If it's hard to name, keep it simple: small, medium, big, sharp, dull, heavy. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to stay with what's true. Touch. Put your hand on the place, breathe into it like you are saying, I'm here, I'm not leaving you. What do you need right now? Not with your thoughts, with your body. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's food. Listen to that intuition of your body's wisdom. Sometimes it's a boundary, sometimes it's a cry, sometimes it's a shower, sometimes it's 5 minutes with no input, external input. And I wanted to notice this. If the urge is to scroll, snack, overwork, don't fight the urge first. Meet the bracing first. The urge is usually trying to solve the bracing. Now, quick reflection, and I want you to answer it honestly. If your 10x life remove all your hiding places, which one would you go first? Over preparing, over giving, perfectionism, staying busy, undercharging, or scrolling? No shame, just a data of yourself, of your own pattern. And if you want to make this even more useful, pick your loudest hiding place and ask 2 questions. First, what feeling am I trying not to feel? 2, what would it look like to meet that feeling for 2 minutes before I cope? The goal is not to become someone who never copes, all right? The goal is to become someone who does not abandon themselves first. And here's the question I want to leave you with. And so answer it with your heart, body, not your brain. What would I have to stop tolerating to hold a 10x life? If you want support practicing this, not just understanding it, that's the work we do in Breath.